Hey everybody, John here with another video for you guys today. Today is going to be a fast fishing episode, but it's going to be a little bit different. Today's going to be fast fishing story time. Alright guys, with it being Christmas and everything, I'm going to try to keep this story kind of short, but I wanted to share with you guys the first time I ever fished as a boater in this boat when I first got it from my brother in Texas. He'd had it for a few years, bought it, got it out to California, was in the process of getting it registered when I fished a tournament, my first tournament as a boater. Had been fishing for a couple of years in the backseat, learning the tournament ways and learning how to fish certain bodies of water differently from a guy, Tom, that really taught me a ton, and I always have a special place in my heart for that guy for teaching me everything he did. So we get out there on tournament day, not really prepared at all, not any pre-fishing really, and just kind of going to wing it, going to hit spots that we know should hold fish. Hit our first spot. Took us about 30 to 40 minutes to get there. It's a long run. Get out there, start fishing. It's just the bite's not there. We end up walking away after about an hour of fishing with one fish, about 2 pounds. Nothing great, but it's a start to the day. We run over to our second spot of the day where my partner almost immediately picks up about a 2.5 pounder. So we're progressing. We're burning a lot of time and a lot of running around. The Delta's a huge area, so the fact that it's from one spot to the next can take you 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes easily. We're really getting pressed for time as the day continues on. So we continue fishing that area. We go around the other side of this island. And pitch my jig in, and the thing never hits the bottom. Swims out. I set the hook and just lay into a huge 8-pounder, beautiful fish, solid. I'm sitting there sweating it, trying to get it in the net. Just can't lose this fish. Get that sucker in the net. Super excited, yelling and screaming. Throw the scale on it. Realize it's right at 8 pounds, just a little bit over 8 pounds. Get it in the live well, and immediately my brain starts thinking, you can't come to weigh in with 3 fish. You've got to have 5. We've got to find 2 more. So we fish that area again for a little while longer, just hoping maybe there's another big one in there. Nothing. We have to end up leaving. We run all the way across the Delta again to another spot that had been holding 2 or 3 fish here and there. Got in there. Nothing. Finally, lay into a Senko fish. And I'm not a big Senko guy. But when the times get tough like that, Senkos are always a great bait. You can pick them up, pitch them in, and for some reason the fish just always eat them. So anyway, we pick up that 4th fish of the day, and we're sitting there kind of scratching our heads, wondering what we're going to do. We're idling out of an area when I come across some buddies of mine. They're struggling. These guys are Delta guys. They're out there all the time. They got 1 fish for the day. It's a pretty nice fish, 3-4 pounds, but that's all they got. We showed them the 8-pounder. They were super stoked for us. And, we just told them, well, we're going to go, fish some islands in Frank's Track, if you're familiar with that area, and just kind of go finish the day out there, hoping to find that 5th fish. So we get out there. We've got less than an hour left when we start fishing these areas. We're flipping. At this point, we're not going to give up on the jigs. We're just going, hey, the jigs have produced all day, with the exception of the 1 Senko fish. Let's just do it, stick with the jigs. And we are. We're flipping. We're down to 15 minutes left before we got to fire the boat up. And my partner goes to me, goes, you know what's better than having 1 8-pounder in the live well? And I was like, at this point, 5 fish? I don't know, And he goes, no, having 2 8-pounders in the live well. Let's find another 8-pounder, And it's like, yeah, that's great. I like the way you're thinking. If we can just do it, right? So we keep fishing. 5 minutes left, literally 5 minutes left before we have to fire the motor and head back for weigh in. And pitch the jig in, and almost the exact same thing that happened before. Just feel that tug, my line starts swimming away, set the hook, nice solid 7 3/4 pound bass. I'm freaking out. Got this fish in my hand. I'm just kind of yelling and screaming, pulling the Mike Iaconelli, oh my God, screaming and yelling on the front of the boat. My partner's laughing because of the comment he had made just 5 minutes before about, what's better than 1. So we're sitting there screaming and yelling. I'm start to realize what the time is, get that sucker in the live well. We fire the big motor and head over to the weigh-in, and we end up finishing 2nd overall with 2nd big fish. Great day. Couldn't ask for a better way to kind of kick off my experience as a boater. and cashed a little check on it as well. My buddies told me later that the same ones that I had saw, they were like, "What were you screaming and yelling about up there?" And I told them, I was like, "Well, that's when we caught that second fish, that big fish." They were running in for weigh-in. They were in the flight ahead of us, and they heard me yelling and screaming as I was, waving that fish around and everything else. So that's kind of funny. But the moral of the whole story here is, we never gave up. We kept going all day. We knew it was going to be a grind. It was a tough bite. We were damn determined to make sure we put 5 fish in the boat, no matter what it took or how long it took, so long as we made it back for weigh-in. A lot of times when we go fishing, we get out on the water, we're struggling. Sometimes we'll just pack it in and call it a day. But, I'm a guy that really enjoys going and catching, not going just fishing. And, that's the thing. You've got to be willing to put in the time. And sometimes you've got to resort to the things like the drop shot or the Senko, those baits that for some reason can really produce when the bite is really off everywhere else. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. As always, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already before. You can always check me out over on Instagram at Texas John Fishing over there. I'm on Twitter under the same thing, minus the G. Don't forget, we got the Christmas contest going on. That's up for another week, so be sure to check that video out. And I appreciate you guys, as always, watching these videos, and stay tuned for more content like this.